Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Talks with Fawole, with the voice behind the camera, the wizard, and we have the Marvellous Mohammed in the studio. Salam alaikum, brother.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you guys very much for that warm welcome there. Man, like Ayo, come on.
Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you. Nice, come on. Thank you very much, man. From you say so, come on, here I am, bro. Like, you know me, you like 20 years plus we've known each other. Camera stuff, you know, we like it, we get excited, we're so eager. Yeah. But from you say, Mo, let's do this, here I am, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I do my own things.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me here, bro.
Thanks for coming. Try not to get lost, like in the mic. Try and speak into the mic as much as you can.
Definitely.
And like, yeah, I feel your energy. I feel your excitement of being here. You were so excited. You was like, you phoned me an hour early telling me he's telling me I'm at the studio, and I'm like, am I mad? Am I late? Am I what? But yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
That's Ayo, isn't it? That's, you know, us when we do things, you always have to put that time, because like many things we do is got to be in that excitement, in that happy role, because we're trying to change lives, we're trying to help people. So when you said, come, I've got to be punctual, do you know what I'm saying? I've got to be really early. That just defines our duty to what you said. Come on, you said a podcast, bro, so I'm definitely going to be early. Do
you know what, yeah? Don't lose yourself on the mic, please, yeah? I pull the mic towards you a little bit if you want to.
No problem.
But you say that, come on, we've got to, and you understand, and this and that and the third. Not everyone's like you. You've got a great energy about you. You've had this kind of energy about you as long as I've known you. But then that eagerness to help other people, that willingness to want to be nice to other people, to create a nice environment around you, not just to be happy yourself, but to make other people happy as well. You have this inside you as well. Not everyone has that. You say it like he says it very like. Not for one of we say it quite flippantly, like, come on, you know we have to. Not everyone moves like that.
It's true.
Like, and that's a nice thing about you. It's almost to the point your energy overflows out of you certain times. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you come early, do you know what I mean?
You know what? You're right. Your it's observations, you know, because we've been there so long in time. But for me, life every day we have to be thankful for that breath of seeing the people you love and care around you. You know what I'm saying? Especially in these times now, we've had things like the pandemic and that once in a lifetime experience. So we've always been in this country where our mood has been suppressed. Do you know what I'm saying? So therefore it's like you can't be happy, but happiness can't be silenced. Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost.
When you say we, do you mean black people or just people in general, the working class? When you got to be more specific for me. So get into that mic for me.
So being specific really would just say happy people. You know what I'm saying? Put in that quote, say people who are happy are being suppressed by people who want that happiness, but it's at a cost. Where people like myself, I was born in England, raised in Sierra Leone. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. From a very young age, and I've seen wars, I've seen terrible things, and I've came back to England, which is almost like another hell, you know, before the heaven life that I experienced. So you almost just got to know that nothing else can happen that can deflate your energy. Do you know what I'm saying? Based on what you've experienced. And being in London now, growing up here, it's almost like taking ownership of what has happened here, which for me, the younger generation, I feel excited for. And that happiness must be translated to them rather than, you know, like what sometimes the mainstream media may take as our downfall. It's actually...
What do you mean by that?
Well, the stereotypes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the stereotypes of, you know, things that ain't actually fact. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, be more specific for me.
So like, for instance, young black men, for instance, let's be specific. Generally, growing up in London is very, very tough. But in terms of how they can develop and manage and get that all-roundness about them, there's not many men like ourselves that can produce that for them or give them that sort of understanding and highlight to take care of their family, be responsible of their mothers and their fathers, their parent, their community, their environment. It's not just, you know what I'm saying, what the system does to us. It's what we do to keep that happiness for what we own and the space that we occupy. And just being able to have that daily, do you know what I'm saying? It keeps me going, bro.
But it's hard. See, we're going to go across the board and everything. But going into what you just said now, yeah, it's hard being a young black man, yeah, and having to have, like, it's hard being young and anything right now. It's hard being a young black man having all these things on your shoulders. Then you've got these stereotypes that people are adhering to. Then you've got limited opportunities when you try and get opportunities, because tell it as it is. Then you've got the opportunities that a lot of people put on your back. Like, I remember being young and black, and it's like, anywhere I go, people would approach me and say, oh, you got weed, you got this, you got that, just because I was black. And some people, you won't fall down those cracks, but it only takes a matter of time before your options are so limited. You think, oh, fuck it, I'll just sell weed, or do you know what I mean? Like, it's a days, and then the stopping, being stopped by police, and just the way you're treated, opposed to having the elders to tell you what to do. Right. Also, the other things that are showing you, and like you said in mainstream media as well, it's hard, man. Or it was hard. It was a lot harder before, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. So when you explain it like that, for me, it's not hard. It's simple, right? The reason why it's simple is it's always a choice. We've always got a choice, right? So my position now, for especially, you know, like I said, I only just realized the other day that when young people, like in their teens, 20s and late 30s or even early 30s saying old people, they're referring to people like ourselves who are over 40. Yeah. So taking on that responsibility itself, what I would appreciate now is the experience that I generally sort of have now, which is I don't worry about police stopping me. I don't worry about things that will get me sort of bothered about the system, what we call the system or the mainstream. I deal with daily sort of like interaction with people. Word of mouth is very powerful. Do you know what I'm saying? How we carry ourselves, how we observe, and how we do things in this day and age is very important. Especially, it doesn't matter whether you're young black or old black. Generally, as people, because we're living in times where social media has a very, very great impact on how we behave. So when you say it's hard, for me, it's very simple, because
that's for you though.
For me, and having that understanding that young people will understand, for them is very simple nowadays, because they've got the tools to actually disassociate themselves with all those stereotypes.
But it's not so. I don't agree, right? Because it still takes fortitude, a good family, like strong disposition, all these things, because all this stuff that the young people are getting given, how do they sift through what's the truth and what's not the truth, what is right and what is not wrong? Because then, like, if you make the choice based upon the advice I get from you, and your advice is tainted, then do you know what I mean? It's just
what you just said there, you're going right. It's actually right. But to draw, one of the most important thing you said out of what you said is about having the right family, the right background, the right community, the right environment.
Well, I think what you're saying as well is that, you see, like, in terms of where the stereotypes are generated, are those people going to be putting the light on where it's been done better?
Right.
So, like, again, it's a narrative that's been given to you.
So this is why I said about the relationship with the person who's behind the camera or the story. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there is a narrative, there is people who are behind the narrative that fuels it, right? So, like, we're talking about a discussion like this where we're speaking openly, and it's open source. So if we're talking about getting this message subliminally to have an effect or an impact exactly to the problem that we have, then therefore the person behind the camera directing this subliminally have to have that understanding of the message that we want to put out there. Because we're not just engaging here just to say we want to talk, but we have an audience, we have people who this can benefit. We understand, and in that way there's a follow-up in terms of how we connect and reach out to them. We know there's a problem, clearly. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're young black or whatever it is. Generally, people are not happy, and happiness cannot be silenced. So if we start not just from outside, but within inside our family, like you said, who is our family?
Well, what I'm saying to you, Mo, because I love you to bits, and you're a very intelligent guy. You're going to another realm with this. What my point to you is, it's like, whether the person was born, whether there was you, me, him, or your kid, my kid, or his kid, when you're born into certain things and certain things go on, it's how you react to them, how you go from them, how you're shaped from them. It's different for each individual. It's different. Some people haven't got family. Some people just got a good friend or someone who's proper. Some people haven't got that. They just got a tenacious brain and they know, you're talking shit, you're talking shit. Some people are more weak. They fold under pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, in this day and age and everything now, gone.
How did we make it through?
We were lucky. We were strong. We met each other. We met other people. We made good decisions from bad decisions. we're blessed by God. Do you know, like, there's so much of, maybe it wasn't our time, because there's people that I know that got nicked, arrested, whatever, just before me and put me off doing certain things. There's people who came back and I saw what it done, certain things done to them, like drugs, women, different things. I said, nah, that's not for me. Whatever happens to me, that's not going to happen to me.
You see, for
and
me,
there's other things I glamorized and I went towards it. Only when I was in the shit, I realized, this isn't for me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's just this trial and error, mate. And some of us, did we really make it? We're still alive, but did we make it? We've got scars, you know?
Scars to heal. For me, this is like breaking news right now, yeah, when I say it, because most people think, what, you been in prison? Like, I came from Sierra Leone at the age of 15.
We're going to go into this.
By the time I was 16 plus, man was doing a long time in prison in this country for strictly just being African.
How long did you get?
I got like 5 years.
Talking to the mic for me. Listen,
I got like 5 years.
You know what? Yeah, what I want you to do, I want you to go back then. So what I want you to do, because you spoke to me about being born here, but then going back to Sierra Leone, yeah?
Coming back.
So what? Let's break down your story so we know exactly where we're at and what's going on, because then that will let me know the kind of child you are, the person you are. Right. Because the same youths here, we didn't see war and stuff. We saw stuff. Man, friends could have got stabbed. We could have fought, could have war, but not real war.
Yo, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so there's a difference. And then you're still back standing there talking so much positivity.
It's testing.
Like other people, they would have introverted into themselves. They'd have a darkness within them. Do you know what I mean? But you're just look at you even laughing and smiling now. So we do have choices. I'm just trying to illuminate. But sometimes we just the human beings who we are chooses what we do, or that makes our choices for us.
I think the society that we've got now is actually it's almost become, it makes you a man. It makes you a man plus to be able to withhold the way it's penetrated on you, not to sort of have that growth or development within yourself, or taking ownership of certain, maybe they call it ideology or whatever it is. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's just a way of living a life that you can help more people. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, explain yourself again, please.
Right.
Sorry.
So, like I'm saying, growing up and coming back to England at a very young age. Right. What I have seen already was like, wow, I'm here to be rescued. You know what I'm saying? I'm living a life of
from Sierra Leone to London.
Sierra Leone to England. So I'm like, But now in the local councils where I was living, there's other battle going on that I get caught up in.
I want to get into all of that. So what happened when you went back to Sierra Leone? What was the pretense? How did you have to go back? Was it family just wanted to go back home? Was there a reason behind it? Was it?
Well, the first time I went back after I left England, after I came to England.
Yeah, you was born here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you went back home after,
I went back home when I was 3 years old. My mum and dad went back there. They're staying there with me. So I went to school there as a British citizen kid. And they always said to me, you will go back to England when you're 16, you know. And I'm always sort of like doing.
Did you remember it from free? Really?
I didn't remember from free, but I remember from primary school, secondary school.
In Sierra Leone?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it, definitely. Yeah.
What was explain it? What was it like?
It was crazy experience, because you know what I mean. I went to local schools, Christian schools, Muslim schools, Methodist schools. Do you know what I'm saying?
How come you went to so many different religious schools?
There you go. That's very important as well, because my grandfather, who's a Muslim, he had his own set of schools that was Muslim schools as a primary school in the Sierra Leone sort of educational structure, which is called SLMB, Sierra Leone Muslim Brotherhood.
Okay.
And from there, I was taken to a Christian school from sort of like class 5 to class 7. And from class 7, when I went to when I went to secondary school, I went to a Methodist school, which is like a high school, a boys' school called Albert Academy.
Yeah.
So
why?
That's the secondary school.
But why didn't you continue to go to the Muslim schools?
Because that school there, the Christian Methodist school, as a high school, was one of the best schools in Sierra Leone. Do you know what I'm saying? As a secondary school.
So there's
no other sort of Muslim school to compete. It's a bit like.
So your granddad didn't mind that you going to this?
No, he was proud that I have that kind of education, because it's almost Western education as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Equivalent to what we do here. So
there was no rivalry between the two religions. No, it was just more about the education of the child.
More of the education, yeah.
So this is interesting. So the daily routine. Do you remember the daily routine? Because it must have differed from the Muslim school to the Methodist school.
Well, from Muslim school, in a point of view where Muslims go to school on Sunday to Thursday, and they're off on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
And Christians, we also go to school from Monday to Friday and off Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the routine, I'll go to Ash Wednesdays. I'm in the choir and Christian.
So about your daily prayers
my daily
as a
prayers
Muslim
in the Muslim school, learn the Arabic, Alif, Ba, Ta, Sa, and do Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the Bible, and just combine. Sometimes I used to just have both books, young as a child, reading both books. Do you know what I'm saying? So there was no conflict really. I was trying to match pages to see if they're all the same.
Cross-reference it.
Yeah.
So you have you're extensively knowledgeable about the Bible and the Quran.
Faith, definitely faith.
Faith. I love the way you put that. I like that. I like that. I like that. You correlate that and call it faith. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So then, all right. So we're gonna break this down and we'll go back forward again. So you do your prayers and stuff in the Muslim school. But in Muslim school, what do you prefer as a child? You was a kid. So you was a kid because like when I was in primary, I remember nursery. I remember primary school. I remember secondary school. I remember college. I remember everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's about you. So what did you prefer? Which school did you prefer? What religion? I won't ask you what religion you prefer, but which.
What do you mean in terms of?
No, I want to ask you
the
what
lifestyle as a childhood. Each school. Well,
did you get beaten in any of them?
I get beaten in both of them, to be honest. But
you didn't say nothing about that. He got his ass kicked. Salam alaikum. God bless you.
There's rules, you know what I'm saying? If you're late sometimes, you know.
We never used to get beat here. I never got beat in school. And it's by friends.
They did beat people back in the day though.
I never got beat in no school. The canes stopped just as I reached the school. They're lucky. I'd have been fucking some teachers up, man. I would have been, come on. Come on, Mrs. Whatever or Mr. Whatever.
The good news was I didn't get beat very often, but the canes were available there for teachers to whip children if you're late, and you know what I mean, certain school.
So you got beat before, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about the first time you got beat and what was it for?
Why I got beat? But like being stubborn, you know.
Do you remember what you did though? I can prepare for you. I'm just trying to get a picture of Mo, you know, as you go through, you know.
Don't want to listen, and you know what I'm saying, just being stubborn, and you know, there's many things like, you know, like maybe just being rude to the teacher and that, you know what I'm saying? Just thinking that I'm a man now at secondary school and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They will straighten you, do you know what I'm saying? And you can't, it's not like you have to fight back. You just take the,
you can't fight back.
Take the licks, do you know what I'm saying? But it's one of them ones where it toughens you up kind of thing.
How did it beat you? Hand, bottom?
It's in your buttocks, man.
In your bum, yeah? It's been over like old school style.
This bench legs thing like that. They designed the Technical Institute purposely. It's called BAT, and that secondary school, and they bat your ass, you know what I mean?
Like a bat?
Yeah.
That's like them, oh my goodness gracious me.
Was it like a cricket bat or a baseball bat?
It was more flat.
Like a paddle?
Yeah, more cricket. More like a cricket,
Squared shape. But do you know what? It was an experience in the sense of, they're beating you not in terms of wickedness, but for the passion of your education.
Yeah.
You have to learn. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you enjoy the experience?
I didn't enjoy it, but in
hindsight
now, I think it was relevant. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, in that dynamic, in that part of the world. Do you know what I'm saying?
I want you to elaborate on that, but I find, like all of us, like we look back at our lives, whether we beat them, whatever, not, and we appreciate even the what could have been called at the time negatives. And when we get older, we appreciate it because we understand, and that's what shaped us.
But we don't always do them. That's what's crazy. So like, we might got beaten and respect that we got beaten, but we won't beat our kids.
Yeah, but I don't think you're right. I don't know, because we're all different. I couldn't. Like I smacked my kids once, my daughters.
Yeah.
I got cut kids, and it didn't feel right.
Yeah, it mustn't feel.
It just didn't feel right.
It mustn't feel right.
Like
it mustn't feel right because I mean, we're at times that are different, especially in this world. It doesn't even matter where it is now in this age. You know what I'm saying? There's no. We should hope that.
Talking to the mic, please.
We should hope that our children has a lot more laxity and comfort and secure around us now than the way we had it, or we didn't have it. Some people who didn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
But then, sorry Mo, to cut you, there's different ways of upbringing. You got kids in it. You got kids. Yeah. So then, my thing, sometimes I think the beating, some of the things what they were, like other things when you teach a child not to put a hand in the fire and so forth, will save us from getting nicked on the road or in trouble or certain things, because we do certain things that we're not supposed to do and we get beat for it. We understand it's wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a way, that was their way of teaching us. So even though the kids, it's different now, I still think there was a place for that. Because if I didn't get my head knocked on certain times on the road, I would have gone and done stuff I shouldn't have done.
Yes.
But I had that knocking in my head from my mum or someone. I read, do I want that knock from someone I don't know? No. And that was it. It was very simple.
I mean, for us, it was very different. Do you know what I mean? But for children now, I think the most important thing for the younger ones now is time. Whether it's parents, family, or as you call it, like you said, there's children that don't have family or that don't have a dad, that don't have, that interest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one of the things with the police issue where you're talking about, we getting stopped and that, it's the whole issue again about who are their fathers, you know what I'm saying? Is their father a lawyer or something? Is there, they don't have this kind of like angle that will make them feel threatened to even stop a black child.
Through the police?
You know what I'm saying? Yes, but if you have men like us auditing just ourselves and our community who are speaking the right things and helping the children, like making it vocal, but physically getting in there, financially if we have to, but helping those who we need to help around our area, that will stem down the system to know that these children are ones not to, you don't stop them, because they've got this kind of influence where there's fathers in their life, there's mothers in their life, there's parents in their life, there's family in their life. All these things played out, like you said earlier, about the family background. If we bring every children as our children and they have a family backbone, I don't think the system will really do what they do. But because it's sort of like divisional, and every now and then we want to protest or whatever. I mean, for me, protesting, the best way I can protest is living my life. If we all care for each other and live that care life, that is a protest to the system.
That's right.
I've got faith, yeah, and I do not ever claim to be political. I don't watch the news or nothing like that. But I've got faith in the stuff that I've seen recently, and it's the faith has just come through you speaking now. I had an epiphany. It's like the way change happens is the way the things are happening. There's young black brothers and sisters now that are learning stuff, that are doing stuff that our generation wasn't doing. So they will be in the positions of power or positions of like influence. So therefore, as time goes on now, these things will be less and less, because through the BLM, through other things that are prevalent in this generation right now, the changes are being made. So people are being aware and they're being educated in this stuff. And once you know about it, then you can start dealing with it. So I think like you, my brother, mashallah, what you just said, and the conversations that I have with these guys here, and the stuff that every other person out there is doing in regards to changing things and making a change and implementing a change, it's all happening now, and I'm proud of everybody that's doing it and keep doing it. It's for me, tomorrow is going to be very bright.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Even like having this in the archive, do you know what I'm saying? In our archive, do you know what I'm saying? For younger generation to come to watch a playback to say, they were talking about this movement, like how we're going, the direction we're going. We're clearly come from a position where we've been suppressed. We've seen sad times, but there's never been happier times that we want to not see. We want to see the happiest times as much as the saddest times that we've seen. We haven't seen the happiest times yet, and we yet want to see them. Do you know what I'm saying? We cannot silence them. You know what I mean? That can't be stopped, no matter what the darkness is or whatever there is. There's also a brighter side that we must see. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like Tupac once said, before he hit certain age, what he would do, and imagine after he's dead, 20 years later, people will still be talking about what he was talking about 20 years ago. Do you know what I'm saying? They got money for wars, but they can't feed the poor. And we know people, not just poverty and not eating, mindset has become so poor and derelict for people, they're not able to think. We're giving them that scope to think, to know that you can do what you want in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? You could be on your own, reach out. Do you know what I'm saying? The most important thing is, if you're alone, reach out. There is somebody out there for you. That is your family member, that is on the same path as you. Do Do you know what I'm saying? Moving with that energy, that bright energy. Be more excited for what can go right than being, you know, disheartened for what can go wrong.
I feel you, man. It's not easy, mate. Tell me how you got to be this such a tenacious, such a strong-minded and willed person. So when you come from school now, yeah, you secondary school, how was it? How did the transition from Sierra Leone to London come about? What happened? Because we digress. You've gone from Muslim school to Methodist to Catholic Methodist school.
Yeah, Methodist.
Yeah,
Academy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Latin, so and to England. When I came to England, my exams to go to the primary school, they said I obliterated it, so they have to send me to college because I passed everything in flying colours. So at the age of 15, 16, I went to Newham College at first. That's where I started. Yeah, just college. And then moved to Waltham Forest College. Right, and from there, the scene is set. This African boy, you know what I'm saying? So it was like,
Forest,
got into a situation where like everyone, as soon as I see them, I'm happy because I'm thinking I'm in England, I'm seeing my fellas. But it turned into this Africa, you know, it turned into sort of like hostile between my own kind, but I don't know where I belong. Because at first I'm thinking I'm British because I'm born here, but I'm spoken raw African, and then man, there's like
you have to say you have to lay down the law.
So this is where the mad pathway came, where you know what I'm saying.
What area was you living in?
Leytonstone,
okay.
Walthamstow, and that sort of.
Where near Thatch House, all them places?
More like Queen's Road, Fairlop Road. Yeah, near Thatch House and Cattle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So man was deep in the front line. So now the change came when I got locked up, bro. Because that's something I never ever thought would happen in my life. You know what I'm saying?
So wait. That's where you come back from Sierra Leone, you go to school. College. You go in college. You're working doing what?
Pizza Hut.
So you're doing good. Yeah. So how did you manage to go and get arrested to go to jail?
We went to a barbecue. Man, them left this barbecue. Some brethren them doing their thing in this Leytonstone area.
What, robbery, fighting, stabbing,
robbery and whatever like that. Bruv, man's I'm just having fun with this bunch, but they know what they usually do, living in hostels and all these things. Yeah. I'm running away and I get held up on the way of running.
So the feds caught you?
Yeah.
You don't know how to run, did you? Because you weren't a criminal. Was you a criminal?
Even
this one lost boy from Sierra Leone just getting arrested.
Whether I run, I don't run. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of these guys. So I got arrested, held, remand straight away, do you know what I'm saying? So
they remanded you straight
away, do you know what I'm saying? So it was like,
where was your parents? Were they here?
In Sierra Leone. I was on my own, bro. I was 16,
but you're not telling me the proper story, mate.
Serious.
So you've come back to London on your ones?
On my ones.
So who's you staying with? Auntie, uncle?
One of my uncle first in East Ham. That's why I was going to.
Okay.
And then he
did he have children?
No, he was just him. He was moving on his own on his own movement. So he's gone. Then I come to my auntie in Leytonstone. Yeah. But she, through the council, got me a hostel. Yeah. And that's where I got mixed up with going to college from being at my auntie's, moving to the hostel, stopping college and just getting into activities in the hostel. Other man them and trying to lay down the law of just come from Africa, but at the same time I'm a bit. I want to.
You're still adolescent as well. You're trying to grow and all that as a man. She got nicked, yeah.
Done.
She got remanded, yeah.
Done.
You've gone from Muslim school to Catholic school to London to live with your uncle to behind the door. So when you went behind the door, how did that feel? Because I know I talked to a different man about going behind the door. Remember, you're not from this country. You're going behind the door in a different country as well. Whether you're born here or not, you might as well. So you're not from the. You're not from here.
It was hell.
Yeah.
From day one.
What was you thinking? Like when you, how old was you? 17?
I was 17.
Where'd you go? Feltham? Where'd you go?
Feltham first, yeah.
Feltham.
And then to Hellsbury.
And then there's calling you names like Boo Boo and all them kind of stupid names, isn't it?
Bro, from my first day, it turned into madness. From Feltham, the first day on remand, my name, they call me Madness because...
Yeah, you had to back it, innit?
Man tried to take my cigarettes and my things and I'm like, what are you doing? And they're starting, so I
you talk soft, but you went crazy.
Yeah, I just decided to make the box a lockdown, basically. So it was like, they put me in a separate place and then whatever, and it was just
talk the story, bro.
It was mad.
No, talk the story, bro. So you went, because you know, you just give yeah. No, I want to know the story. No, what happened? So she got remanded. You go to Feltham now, yeah? going from la 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 la. You going from click 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 your cell. You sharing a cell.
They took me from the box to one holding wing.
What's the box? I don't know about this.
So basically, I've gone mad in the box where the man try and take my cigarettes before they're setting people in their wings. And
okay, so you came. So okay, look, Mo. So what I'm saying, so you got the bus to the thing. And you got off and they're searching you. Where these cigarettes come from?
They're searching
my cigarette from outside.
No, from outside.
So you're getting searched as you're going in.
First day.
So this is the screws searching you.
No, not the screws. We've done the screws. We're in the box where all the inmates from all different parts of London.
Okay, so you've been initiated. So you're just waiting so like a holding cell.
Just there waiting for them to give me my.
Cause I ain't been jailed in this country before,
bruv.
So I'm trying to. I need to know. If I don't know, I'll ask. Go on.
Young offenders.
I don't want to either.
Not happening again, bro. Once and only.
Knock again, though, please. Okay.
I'm saying.
But let them come in. Hallelujah. Ain't happening again.
See, when you're young in this country, that's what I'm saying. The direction is for you to get criminal record and mash up your future. For me, I didn't think that would ever stop me anyway, having that, because I still do and learn and get good job. You know, I still put
so it was a constraint. No,
that's why I said that's where everything changed, because
listen,
I'm confronted with something that I'd never know how to handle.
Let's put a pin in that, because I know exactly where we are, right? And I want to say that again, because it's crazy how the system is designed to get you nicked. And this is you youngers out there, you'll get nicked, you'll do one crime, once you're in that thing, they got your DNA, they got your stuff, it's a problem for you. So the best thing is not to get into that system. Try and stay away from that.
Don't get in.
And it is designed, because that's how it was when we was young. It's designed once to get you once, and they want to get you again. They get you for things that you haven't even done.
And you still got to come out and repair your life. You want to repair your life. You want to have a family. You want to have a woman. Look after your mom. Look after you want to do the same thing.
Go on holiday. I know man that can't travel.
You want to travel.
I know man can't travel because of their record. Can't go nowhere.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're young, you're out there, listen, we've had worse than you guys. It's better for you guys today, because you have the choice to say no into them kind of lifestyle. Start thinking about loving your family, yourself more. Do you know what I'm saying? Stop the stereotype living and fitting into that category. Make them think of statistics that they've never produced, of how good young black men are in London. Make a model of how healthy and wealthy you can be for. You know,
that's easy. Go on.
To be honest, it's happening. Do you know why, bro? I'm gonna give you this, yeah. You know this. 20 years ago, we used to see a lot of single mothers pushing prams. 20 years down the line, I'm seeing young mothers and fathers pushing pram. Young black boys push. That's good. Putting in work.
That's good. I'm not taking away from that, but I'm gonna say all this stabbing and all that other shit. That's still youth doing the wrong thing. And I'll just say, I'm not taking away from that. All I'll say, Mo, is to the young guys that were where we were at, which about mistake that you make. We're going back into that now. You went to jail, done how much time? Because being around the wrong people, wrong place, wrong time, yeah? Can I present anyone out there right now? Pump your brakes when you're out there. Think about your movements. That's all I'm saying. Absolutely. I commend the people that are doing the good stuff, but I'm worried about the boys and the youngsters that are disillusioned at the moment and might make one wrong mistake at 15, 16 and it fucks their whole life. And that's basically what's going on out there. They don't care when you get in, when they see you young, wherever you're from. They don't give a shit. They'll just bird you. That's that they'll give you that bird, and we don't want that. So you have to make good decisions. Pump your brakes.
We definitely don't want that. And if there's any young man out there, and you feel like you're on pressure of any things like that, reach out. You gotta reach out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Doing things like this, yeah. Because me myself personally, I don't have to go viral for it, but if you reach out, we find a way to help you. You know what I'm saying? We find a way to guide you. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to have the link-ups like people like ourselves and my man here and what we have here to be able to, you know, to be guided to see your star shine, move away from the negative press, because that's just a press. It's in competition with all sort of other press. So take yourself away from them, and, you know, we're here to help you guys. That's where it is, yeah? Like, we know the media out there. We know that the pressure is tough for you guys. But take yourself away from that. Drop the knives. Save your lives. and start working on things. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again.
Drop the knives and
save your lives.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, the only thing you're gonna get is like a good family. Do you know what I mean? A good stance. You know what I mean? Having good moments. You know, and those days are yet to come for you.
Yeah, be real. Life's hard. I'll be real, Mo. Life's fucking hard. I'll be real with the youngsters. Life's hard.
It's hard for
all. But I'm saying, be real. Life's hard. So you might do that, and life might still be hard. I'm talking to the youngsters same way you're talking to them. You might still do that. It might still be hard, but that's life, innit?
That's life, bro.
You have to get on with it. That's what I'm saying to the man them out there. Like, it's just life.
Vision, know what you want and go for it. And once you know what you want and it's cleared vision is to protect yourself and your family and it's legally, do you know what I'm saying? You can do it. Do you know what I mean? And you can be the next person that change how we think about helping ourselves.
I'm gonna make you a fucking president or something. But this guy,
no. This is what
I'm not.
We're looking for the young black youths. You know what I'm saying? That can make me think like, whoa, you're outdoing me constantly. Do you know what I'm saying? And we are trying. It's hard. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really hard, but we know you guys doing the right things will make the job more easier for us. Do you know what I'm saying? Let them do it. We've got faith in our youth.
Yeah, I like you, man.
We've got faith in our youth.
Listen, tell me about. I want to get back into your story because we're going to motivate them more as well because you're very motivational. I want to get your story out because we're going to be here all day. I want to get because there's how much more of your story I've got to get out. So you're behind the door. The man's trying to take your cigarettes in the box.
Yeah.
You're behind the door. The man's trying to take your cigarettes in the box.
Yeah.
Go. What happened?
And there it was. Give me my thing, and it's not just my plastic. It's just getting at him because he didn't ask me nicely. And I felt intimidated.
Black, white, same colour.
Mixed race guy. You know what I'm saying? Tough, like he knows himself. You know what I mean? But I was intimidated the way he asked me because it's my first time in there. Yeah. So I'm kind of like on the soft side to say, all right, just have one. But as I'm giving him one in that sense of intimidation, because he must have just come back from court. He's there. That's his resident. Yeah. He grabbed it off me.
Like the whole box.
Like the whole box now. I'm like, just give me that. And bruv, from give me that, he's on it, I'm on it, I had him. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was just unleashing, I had him. So from there now, when the...
Give that good Sierra Leone beating,
it's only me they held and took me away.
Yeah.
And put me in some lock-up place. Okay. Only me was there and it's like a cell with a light, do you know what I'm saying?
So
I was there until they've done all the admin of every prisoner's lockdown, everything. I woke up, I don't even know what time it is. It was just pitch black.
Yeah.
And I was screaming and I can hear chains.
Yeah.
And somebody come, where are you? I said, I'm here. And they come open, and like, what are you doing there? I'm like, I was the one that had a fight and they put me away. They said, oh. So they forgot me.
Wow.
Literally. So I was there after the energy, I knocked out. I woke up again, it's dark.
So because you were screaming, they knew you was down there?
It was like, they knew, because
you was making noise.
I was the only one coming from the reception because it is the reception. The sort of the holding wings are in there, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So long story short, they got me out and take me to. This is 20 years plus, you know.
Yeah. Ago.
They put me in a holding place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, lap wing, whatever. You know
how long was you in London before that happened?
Under less than 18 months.
8 months. So
18 months.
So when they banged you up now, what was it like? The culture shock and all that. Talk to me about the food.
Bro, I just have to adapt, you know? It's all about...
Is that your phone? My friend, turn it off.
It's all about...
My friend, turn the phone off. Why just grab your phone and the guy grabbed the cigarettes?
It's all about adapting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what was the worst?
It's you have no choice.
It's not nice. Imagine African food to prison food. Not even normal food. African food to prison food.
You got no choice, do you know what I'm saying? So it's do or don't.
But with the skills from Africa, you can make that prison food taste.
But what
you say?
With the African skills, I'll be able to make the food taste better.
Yeah, no, we just giving it in the bin.
Seasonings and you know.
But what
you get limited things if you like living in Africa and it's slums. Yeah. Like what you have to cook with is limited, isn't it?
Oh, you'll eat better.
Yeah, but at least it will teach you how to cook with nothing.
Yeah.
Well, for me, they had cooking classes anyway.
In jail?
Yeah. Them one-away cooking class. You can either go Muslim prayers or go to cooking. So sometimes
it was
do my own thing.
Young offenders.
Yeah. That was then. But to be honest, like I said, it was a mad thing. It was hell. I'd never ever wish it even on any one of my young.
How long did you do? Talking to the mic for me, please.
They let me out after 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
So you done more time in prison than you done in London.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. It's crazy.
Wow.
So
what do you think that done to you? Because like, listen to what I'm saying to you now, yeah? You're my brethren, innit? Like, we're talking freely. I talk freely and stuff. Like, everything does stuff to people. No matter how people want to say it does or it doesn't, you don't have to answer the question, but everything does. If you've got a father or absent father, it does stuff. If you've got a good baby mother or bad baby mother, it does stuff to you. You've got a good girl or bad girl, good guy, bad guy, good mum, bad dad, it does stuff to you.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? If you get beat, you don't get beat, you know what I mean? It all does stuff. We're human beings. So like, what do you think that did to you? Because you're still here smiling and bright and everything, and you almost embody the fact of being thankful for everything you have right now and what's around you, and giving out good energy, no longer wanting to give out bad energy. It's just that those 2.5 years. Go on.
It's like I said again, it's from hell again, isn't it? It's having that experience there with different people in different parts of the country. Do you know what I mean? And you have to live with them every day. You know, where it's no choice. You meet people who's got different ways, different characters, different behavior, myself included. So it was just like fighting every day to understand people, or people understanding me. Do you know what I mean? The communication barrier was broken. Do you know what I mean? Even to the screws, you know. I was very aggressive in taking the punishment than actually learning from the punishment. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is my situation. I didn't know how I got to this situation, but the reality now, this is fucked up. So how do I...
17?
Yeah, 17, 18. I don't know when I'm going to come out, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm just staying out. So my life was like, what is the best thing that I can do to salvage this?
That's what you're asking yourself.
Yeah, that's the point I got to. And at that point, I start writing music, rapping, and you know what I mean, meet other people, and based on that, do you know what I'm saying? Because after all the tribulations, because I had extra days as well, do you know what I mean? Because I was fighting left, right, and centre, do you know what I mean? I didn't realise these things are gonna cost me as well, do you know? So being in there.
What was the main reasons for you fighting?
Just reactions, you know, just reaction to people, you know what I mean? Like their behaviour, how they speak to you, or they're intimidating you, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, just man's behaviour, do you know what I mean? Just, you can give them all the respect and they think you're weak kind of thing, do you know what I mean? So the point where I live by my reputation now, because it becomes like, if I don't fend myself, I'll be the weakened one, but when I fend myself, it'll take a while, people will know, don't mess with him, do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that basically get me along, but it still was attracting people who think they're the top of the chain can trouble me, do you know what I mean?
It's a slippery slope, but in jail it's necessary though.
So I always used to dive in deep, but there's a point, like I said, where I said, this is it, I need to come out before the millennium. Do you know what I'm saying? If I don't come out before the millennium, it's gonna be real mad. Do you know what I mean? So at that point, I think.
Well, how long did you have? Did you get 4 or 5 years? You said.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah.
5 years, and you kept getting extra days for fighting.
Yeah. So I was like, from '98, you know, I was like, yeah, I got to come out before the millennium. I start praying more.
He was in jail in '98, yeah.
Yeah, '98.
'98 was a very good fucking year, bro. I'm sorry. It was a good year, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I remember '98, you know. It was a good year for me, bro. Those were like the swinging 60s or the rave, the 1940s for us.
Because that's the year I said, boy, I need to come out before the millennium.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Good.
Because '98 was like 90 great. Because I'm born in '78. I always refer to 8 as great. 70 great, 80 great, 90 great, 2000 great. You know what I'm saying? 20 great teens. You know what I'm saying? 20 great things. Do you know what I'm saying? So I kind of put tone into how the years go, and I'm living my years. You know what I'm saying? So 1998, I just said, yeah, let me sort myself out. And from then, I've never looked back, bro. I came out before '99 and before millennium. I sort myself out, and here I am. Do you know what I'm saying? Never have to worry about, you know, I don't, you know what I mean? I should have been exactly how I am now then growing up, but I have to deal with the environment now and choose where I have to be.
So, I love that. I just had 2 questions to ask you, and then you finished up, but maybe it threw me the other way. But the first question I want to ask you is, like, how did you get to that? Because you spoke about being reactive, which I think a lot of people are, a lot of our younger people are reactive, being reactive to the things that were said or the things that were done towards you and feeling like you needed to react to create a certain persona to where you are now, because you're not like the biggest of guys. I know what you can do. Do you get what I'm saying? But someone looking at you might think, maybe I can take him. Do you know what I mean? And they have to find out the hard way that they can't take you. Do you get what I'm saying? No, I understand that. I understand. I know what it is. But then you're not even. You'll be like more like, okay, yeah, you can take me, yeah, cool. Like you would, there'll be that.
That's what I've been learning.
But how did you get to that? Like, because you're saying now you got to that, you made that thing in '98, because people are out there all day trying to draw people out, even up to today, even more so now. Bruv, how do you not get drawn out? How do you not react?
I get drawn out, bruv. It's out there, bruv. That's just the thing is, I focus in what, like I said, you set your vision, clarity. For me, like I said, it's the people around me and family. Do you know what I'm saying? Those who I love and care for. Like I said, you shout me, we'll go 20 years plus. It's love. I'm here. For me, I keep going because I'm the one they have to look to. I look up to others that are older than me as well. Do you understand? Like yourself, for instance. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not that old, mate.
Do you understand? Come on, man. Come on, I still feel like I'm in my 20s, bro.
Yeah, cheers. I'm my 29 student, fuck you know.
But yeah, so keep your family close.
We're gonna get an old jar in this place. Every time someone refers to my age, I'm gonna have a jar. They have to put something in it.
But we're old men now, bro.
No, don't weird nothing, bro. Don't weird nothing, bro. I'm telling you. When I run around the block and see wins, I'm good.
I'll run, you know.
Yeah, I'm good.
I still give these youths a chance.
Exactly. I was like, yeah. He was like, my back. Nah. Yeah, go. Old man, nah.
No, man. But yeah, that's the energy, bro. You just gotta think family. You just gotta think fit. You know what it is about. We know where we are. Don't draw too much attention to yourself. That is the wrong attention. Do you know what I'm saying? You stay focused. That's how I do it. I just have to. I know what keeps me going, which is being around my children. First of all, being around the people that I can get close to, because I'm in England. This is my country. So you know what I'm saying? I need to get close to the people I love, I care for. Do you know what I'm saying? I can share a moment with. Do you know? And especially what has happened, where man's had a working lifestyle as well, 9 to 5, all of that stuff we've had here, a combination of all sort of life. Now, I am so gracious to spend time with people who I care for, that were there anyway, that we didn't get to materialize or capitalize on that time there that we have to make things happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I'm still confused.
Bro, we're all in the confusion.
You know what? I'm confused. I'm confused because you got this guy. All right, you must have had a great fucking upbringing. You got this guy who's come over at 16. At almost the most pivotal time, and then gone into jail. And then had to come out of jail with no support or nothing. And you come out and you still manage to be rounded at the end of it. You know, there's so many different ways that this like literally could go like this. You could be a career. I know people go jail and they come, especially like you at your age with no family, no influence, or nothing. They become career criminals. They meet all other people. Oh yeah, you know how to do this, you know how to do this. Boom, boom, boom. They learn that. Do you know what I mean? The other junkies, go on.
I know mans that I will talk to from today to next world, yeah? They're saying that's their way of life. You understand?
What crime?
Yeah, that's them. Do you understand that? Even telling them about jail, family, like this. But you need to understand functional and dysfunctional. You understand? So if I know people like that myself, yeah, but I spend less time with, although I know them, but I also know people who are functional like myself that I spend more time with, I know I win with these people. Do you know what I'm saying? We can never stop that. Some people, I think, it's just their way of life, just like we choose the way we choose to live. So you can't tell them just like they can't tell you. We just got to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Focus in our own actions. What we feel that is better for us individually, because that may be better for them because they get to buy their trainers, their nice clothes every week. But that's not what I want. I want to be able to feed my children every week.
I figured it out.
Do you get what
I'm saying? I said I was confused. I figured it out. Boys, I think I figured it out. Yeah. So you got this young man who moves from London, goes to Sierra Leone, goes from London to Sierra Leone, then he's learning he's got a good family, Muslim background. Then you got the Methodist church background. Then you got these are all different churches. Then you got the Catholic. Then you went to the Catholic. Then he went to the college background. Then he went to prison. All these places have taught him different things and taught you how to deal with different things in life. Imagine all them lessons at such an early time in life. All the shit. Imagine all the shit you could learn. Not shit. Like I should use a better word than shit, but the different things you could learn. Like that's how you're so. I'm sitting there trying to figure it out. How did you do that and then come out the other end? Because then you got the stability of the church and the learning of the books and stuff for grounding. Yeah. This is just my interpretation of it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sometimes you're overprotected by it as well. So like when you're raised with too much structure, you end up jumping out the structure because like everyone that has strict parents, they always have that rebellious period. So that they was grown with all of these everything was strict, but as soon as they get their own little power, they rebel. You know what I mean? And some people that's university. You know what I mean? They it's time to go to university. They move as far as they can.
And just start swinging from the chandeliers.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like. There is always that time. That's why we can never really like. As much as we want to have we got plans for our kids. We can never try to force them to live those plans out.
They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
There's sometimes us trying to get the best out of our kids makes them worse.
You have to just guide them.
I was just gonna say that.
Let them do what they want.
Yeah,
and that's so good because. You know when people say, oh, like mom and dad, I personally didn't have no like mom and dad. I have mom and dad figure, even though I have a mom and dad, but they're not actually the one that rendered my upbringing. Like my great grandma, my grandpa, my grandma were the one that literally looked after me, kind of like the way a mother and a father should look after their children. So I have that first-hand and second-hand leverage where I was taken from England
and the state,
and they love me there.
And the state,
yeah.
No, you don't say the state because when you went to jail and thing, they became your mother and parents.
Broken. You know, when I came to England and I hear those things in Africa, it was totally. It's a write-off. Like how this is like how can that happen to our beloved chat? You know what I mean? It's like it's almost heart throbbing to know that some of my aunties that are still alive now that were delivering the message then in such a demonic way. Now they see me, they're astounded my same happiness, like because they know what they do to alter a church, you know what I'm saying? Like they're still like overwhelmed with my desire just to live and let people live and the help I even give them unknown to the fact of whatever you guys do in this world. But you know, like I said, you can't corrupt children. We cannot corrupt children. Children cannot be corrupted, and we're innocent. And if you think of the time the world is going on, even we are children. So unless you let man corrupt you, you're still pure at some stage.
So do you have an organisation that helps children with it helps them to come off?
What I do have is sort of like seminars with me and my son is 10. He choose a park, we'll go there and meet young other children and play football and interact with them and do stuff like that. Like locally, hand to mouth, like word of mouth. You know, the other day I met, we went to play and there was this cool kid, we got it over on VT, and she was playing really hard. You know, there's a bunch of mixed of girls and boys, you know, between like 10 to 14, they're all playing. And she's like, I'm the only Arab Christian here, and everyone's like, what?
The only Christian?
Arab Christian. And the way she came across pointing to get a message across, you know what I'm saying? From me taking it back to when I was young, saying I'm the only Muslim Christian African here. But everyone was so happy, warm introduction, and we still meet same time and they play football, let them have a good time, go to the shop. But like I said, I give. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I wonder, where do I get it to give?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're giving out money, but you're giving out sustenance.
Energy,
Yeah, there's sustenance. Some people, that's all they need, that breath of fresh
air. Where did you say that?
Where?
I'm the only Muslim Christian here.
No, I said, imagine I had said that when I first came back.
Yeah.
In town, but now life is so different. We can embrace more than then.
Yeah.
You know, it's so vast now. With they're more on we've given them a society where they're all as one now. Yeah. Before we you know, it was sort of like we still fighting what kind of ages is. Children now, they're gonna grow more modified in their adult age, much better than us. I believe so. Yeah.
So I concur with that. So
I like that.
You come out 98. You said you're not going back. You come out, hit the road.
Yeah, hit the road.
When you hit the road, what happened?
It's another battle again, bro.
Of course, this is life. This is life talk. That's what we're talking about. Everyone's life is different.
It's another battle, bro. It's
a constant battle.
It's a constant battle. With my name, Mohammed, the time I was coming out, it's coincided finally when they let me out, put me in Finsbury Park next to the mosque. Whoever the systems are, whatever they place and position people, I don't know. I'm an innocent child.
Yeah, talk.
It coincided with all that terror business.
Yeah.
Which I don't know about. Which I'm just obviously a devout, praying Christian or Muslim child wherever I go.
Yeah.
But mixed in the bunch of Finsbury Park from prison, because I had that influence in prison, praying all the time, and people, you know.
Yeah, there's a community there.
Yeah. And then I start feeling like I'm getting drawn to something that I don't know, which is like, you go to that mosque and it's so affiliated with things that I don't even, as a London boy, I don't even think of terror.
How did you not get drawn in? What did you do?
I thank my beautiful woman that I'm still with today. Yeah, trust me, I met this girl this woman 3 months after I come out.
Yeah.
And I was going to the mosque.
What's her name?
Arisha,
mashallah, Arisha.
And I met her, 3 months into just being on road, like December Millennium. I met her in the Millennium March. These sort of times, March, like ending, yeah. And basically what it is, I met her, she's like a good friend of a family friend. And you know, I kind of like spent so much time with her from the beginning. I mean, the first time I met her, I went shopping, I went to prayers. She see I'm a Muslim English kid and that. But I get to explain a little bit with her, and she's like, you know, I'm not saying anything, but if you're praying, pray at home. Stop going to the mosque and pray if this is what the news is saying and that's where you pray. I'm like, oh.
She Muslim?
She's not Muslim. She's Christian, but I understand her virtue, what the advice she's given me as a young British girl, woman. She's like, you don't have to mix with nobody. You don't have to go on this. You pray in your house, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you pray in that mosque where it's always coming on the news, you're going to be associated with things that's happening there. I'm like, that's the best advice she gave me. I kept my religion in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't need to go to no mosque. I'll pray at home if I need to. I'll pray wherever. But me living in the 2000s of just going to mosque and doing this sort of Allahu Akbar thing, it's not really what I choose to come out and do, but living next to it, it almost reminds me of just continuing it. So I just said, you know what? There's a big world out there I want to survive and live after. I don't want to be encroaching a world of superpowers. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but I don't want to know about this thing here. Do you know what I'm saying? So I stayed away from praying, bro. I stayed intact.
You stayed away from communal praying?
Yeah, from going to the mosque and mixing in Jamaats and all that.
What you say the Allahu Akbar thing?
Well, listen, Allahu Akbar, what do you say?
It means God is great.
Yeah, God, it means Allah is great. Yeah,
Allah is great. I know what it means, but when you say the
rest of what you say,
Allahu Akbar thing, no, because you just said that you wasn't going to get mixed up in this Allahu Akbar thing.
Yeah,
so, meaning, but I'm trying to ask you now, was there a thing? People from jail saying, Allahu Akbar, when we go out, we're going to do this, we'll do this. No. What is it? When you say the thing, what do you mean? Because I just know God is great. That's what it means to me.
So let me explain it to you. So the media, the narrative, it's like when you use this when you use Allahu Akbar, it straight away creates fear. There was using that word that is the greatest word that Muslims can use as assertion of terrorism. I've used to see in the news, they said that the person said Allahu Akbar
and then blew themselves up.
And then,
so I always used to think, why would they do, like, nobody will do that.
Propaganda, innit?
Yeah, but this is the word now, because God is great and the mainstream narrative is to use that word in fear. It put me even in a position where I was even scared to say Allahu Akbar.
No, you never be scared to say that, man.
It's like these people make you think, even your children, to say certain things which you can say praise Jesus at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now you say Muhammad, it was no, let's call him Mo. You know what I'm saying? Don't do this, man.
What happened there?
Because the Muhammad thing then, listen, like I said, COVID came and it made me can talk like this right now, bruv. If COVID didn't come, it was still that terror business. You need to don't talk this, don't talk that. People think you're gonna do this. Always thinking your conspiracies and this. We're living life, and we're going through our own personal experiences in this life and taking it in. It's down to whether you want to take it in and live on, or you want to take it in and let it rule you living on.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Say again. Say that again. If you take
Either
it,
you want to take it and live on, or you want to take it and let it keep living you on. Do you understand? So we're living in this life where it's our own experience.
Yeah. You know I think the fear is too much. Have you seen Monsters Inc?
No, I haven't, you know.
Have you seen Monsters Inc?
No.
Yeah, you seen Monsters Inc?
I've loosely watched it, but...
You see, no one has seen Monsters Inc? And it's like they say kids contaminate people.
Yeah.
Like, so then if they touch a kid's sock, like a cleanup crew comes rustling, and they grab them, like germ cleaning them, basically. So any little thing, it was propaganda in the show kind of thing. So they create that fear. Any little thing you say,
It's that fear, yeah. And now I've even seen different part of this. Right now, what is happening? I'm seeing people saying Allahu Akbar. It doesn't matter what part of what people just want to be happy, saying thank God in any religion, in any way or shape. Praise be to thy Lord. That's what people want.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. That's what people want. People want a way of feeling happy by praising the Creator rather than being worried about what mankind is doing, because mankind is never out here to assure you happiness. His struggle is to keep you worrying. If you listen and pray and continue with what is speaking to you, you will be assured that your life is happy. And you will be happy. No, seriously, bro, trust me.
See what I mean? You don't see. I know what I'm saying.
People forget about praising the spirit, the faith. Do you know what I'm saying? People forget. They think, oh no, it's all material, it's all like order it on what blah. But all I'm saying is, do not forget prayers. Do not. That's the only thing mighty sword against their games they're playing. And once we instill in that, do you know what I'm saying? It's everlasting. It says it's everlasting. You know, and I'm not saying this because I'm Muslim or Christian, or I'm saying this because I'm a person. As any person is equal.
You're a man of faith, man.
Yeah.
Talking about you're a man of faith.
To want to be happy.
Yeah, but you want other people to be happy too. So
that's the content.
So, all right. So you met this beautiful woman. She stopped you from getting in this trouble. Now you settled down. Your boy's 11. How old is he now?
Me.
Yeah.
I'm 43 now.
Ross, Clark, you're calling me old man. Don't call me old man. You call me old man. Calling me older.
Didn't forget that.
I ain't letting that go. I'm wearing pink, bro. Oh shit. Yeah. I'm young and hard.
You see what I'm saying, man? An old man, right?
Yeah, man. You do it yourself, bro. Man, not this man. I was delete chocolate. Come on. So you met the girl. You settled down with her. Everything's going good. How was life for you coming up? Because what did you do to go to jail? Did you even tell me? Oh yeah, you told me. You did tell me.
But everything's going good. I'm going to caption that because it's another battle.
Of course, I know. That's what I'm asking. I know.
It's never good. But what it is, the battle becomes good because you're excited to fight. Like, I'm excited to fight battles. You know what I mean? It's like there's different rounds. If I need to fix up, look sharp, and get a job, that's the name of the game. You
Man said fix up, look sharp,
and get a job. That's the name of the game. That's our tradition, to always notch up a level. You know what I mean? Level up a bit. If you see there's, you need to sort out the deficiency and make it sufficient. You know what I'm saying? So when I met her.
Bro, you're dropping bars, you know.
But serious. You see,
say that again?
You need to drop the deficiency and make it sufficient. You know what I'm saying?
Is this jargon, you know?
No, but it's serious. Because the deficiency is what makes us lack things, and the sufficiency is what makes us develop in things. Do you know what I'm saying? So, if, like, we're tied to one and we have to raise children and that, there's no point in saying an argument or cheating is going to make these children suffer. Yeah, they can make us go separate ways, but definitely the children has to benefit equally from mother and father. Claire, isn't that?
You asking me, am I agreeing with you?
No. Does that make sense? Though?
It makes sense, but what makes sense to somebody who isn't sensible, has got no sense, or not looking at things from a sensible point of view, doesn't make sense.
So, in practical, when they see that happening around them and has a good impact, do you not think that should put sense in their head?
All right. Let me not be an arsehole, yeah? What I mean is, So imagine you've got someone who hasn't been taught or doesn't know how to process the stuff like how you know how to process it. Mm-hmm. So you're giving them sense, but they can't process it. Mm-hmm. That same guy who says, "Oh, nah, I'm a criminal for life," but he can't process how to get out, fix up, get a job. Mm-hmm. Some people can't process what we call sense. This is what I think with certain people. So I'm not saying it's right. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying some people can't do it. Some people have got that ability to do it, and then they can now do for their children and stuff. Right. I think some people shouldn't even have fucking children, as far as I'm concerned. If you can't do that kind of stuff, then you shouldn't have children. But who am I to say who should and shouldn't have children? It's their business. My thing is, you're supposed to raise your children in a certain way. And don't let, like exactly what you're saying, whatever the interactions between the two people that produce those children or that child, let their issue become the child's issue. Their issue is absolutely nothing to do with the child, apart from the fact that they made the child together. The child just come into this. Child wasn't even around when all these things were happening. You know what I'm saying? Child ain't party to this, so allow the child in it. That's the. So that's what I feel what you're saying. Allow the child in it. But then someone who doesn't know how to process their emotions and communicate might not be able to separate the thing from the child. So like their hate for you might not be able to be, so they might not be able to see what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to advocate, but some people can't see you, so they won't let you see the kid. Because when they see you, they can't deal with their emotions. Mm-hmm. And it's not that they don't want the best for the child, it's they don't know how to get past that. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make it right. But I know that's kind of shit's happening. But some people won't even say that that's what it is. They'll say it's something else or put another label on it, or do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the same vice versa. Dudes want to see the kid, but they can't see the woman because the woman won't be with them no more. Mm-hmm. And because of that, they won't go around a woman because they can't see them with someone else. They can't look in their face, and they can't get their pum pum no more. Whatever, it's a problem with people.
It's a big problem. But you see, the thing is, what you just said there, I had to advise someone, recently about that a young man that was going through the same sort of like moving relationship from the children's mum. Because I don't use that, but that's actually how we started the conversation. He was saying baby mum, and I said, you know what? I don't use that word from when I come out jail 20 years ago, and I said children's mum. If I have a child, their mum, I don't use that term because, again, mainstream used to use that derogatory term to our black women 20 years ago, watching a program called Baby Father, Baby Mum, and all this. So from that, I learned to honor the women, to say, at least, even if you're not married, whatever, but if you're having children and that's your children's mum, and now you can build on better things. Do you know what I'm saying? Things are not gonna be easy. That's one thing we all have to know as individuals. Do you know what I'm saying? So our differences can't be the child's deficiency, if you know what I'm saying. We all have to contribute. We know, well, I know personally how hard it is from a woman's perspective, because I've been there, to look after children.
What is a woman?
No, I've been there as a father to see, to support. Do you know what I'm saying? I can only do my best, innit? My best is never enough, because I see the wonders women take to raise us. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's only fair for a man to contribute, to help, whatever our differences. But it's also only fair for us to manage what our differences aside from what we've got going on. Because sometimes we try and cloud ourselves with things. I'm doing this, I got a new woman, I got a new man, and all these things to try and oppose the other party and not thinking about the child. Do you know what I'm saying? But when you think and go in that child's head, your child's head, and think about how they will think and feel about you as other children, you should take, that should be something you should, do anything for, to work out the difference with the father or the mother of a child in a relationship that is not getting on, or even if you're getting on, you can even make it better that way. What do you think? Doesn't that would make sense out of it?
I think that each individual human being should treat any other human being how they want to be treated. So they should put themselves in the child's shoes and think about when they was a child and how, or if they was that child, and how they want that child, or they want me being that child's parent, mother or father, to treat them. What they want from it. And then if I think like that, it makes it a lot easier for me to make my decisions. It makes it a lot less, it doesn't make it easy for people to go on.
Do you think parents of our sort of age group may have had a problem with our upbringing, which is why we can't sort of like which is why we probably find the problem of the relation between a father and a child very difficult? Because
us,
not us in particular, but in general, there's some men that may have had or women that may not have had a great relationship with their parents, and maybe that experience may have been translated to the relationship they have with their children.
Definitely. I mean, like I was saying earlier on, everyone, there's all different problems. I can't remember what I was saying, but I said there's problems in everything. Everyone's everyone's got problems. So but yet still, it shouldn't transcend. I know people that have been abused, they don't abuse their children. People that have been abused and they abuse their children. People that haven't been abused and they abuse their children. People that have had great upbringings, they don't bring up their children well. Do you know? You're supposed to, the thing what it is, boom.
Discipline.
No, boom. You have a child. You decide, like, and I feel it's harder for these youngsters that are having kids now, but you have a child. You can put your things in a woman and come, and a woman can breed out and all that. You have to...
Automatic.
It's a change. The game changes.
Assume the role.
Yeah, the game changes. And then you're playing this game, you're not playing the game. It's like one of them kids, I'm not playing no more. That's the people that don't want to take care of their family. I'm not playing no more. Men and women do it. That's bullshit. You can't play. You want to play now. No, I don't want to play no more.
Have you got kids?
Of course I've got kids.
How many you got?
I'm not telling you how many kids I've got.
Come on.
Nah.
Come on, I feel you. Come on.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
And they're doing well.
My kids are doing amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love all my kids.
That's good.
Seriously, I'll do anything for my kids.
You see, you're an example anyway. You're a clear example of, like, again, the fathers.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, but serious, because I know you go extra mile to create that bond and relationship and that respect. Do you know what I'm saying? I know you're tough. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know why you say that, because building a relationship with your children is one of the other greatest things, you know, because we're living in a society, remember, as fathers, that's not really endorsed as a black man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's necessary.
But it is needed. It's necessary. We need to be there.
It's necessary.
Absolute.
You can't, I don't think you can have children and not have a relationship with your children. I don't believe this is true. You can't do that. You can't say you love someone unconditionally. You're there for them. They're part of you. You see them growing up. You haven't got a relationship with them. You got to do anything and everything you can to have a relationship with them, irrespective of what they do and how they do things. Especially with the knowledge that we have, like knowing what life is about. Like, I've had how many conversations on this show. I know the amount of things I've done in my life. Even just talk about your life now, going from here to Sierra Leone to back to school to Muslim to Methodist. There's so much different things that happen in each individual's life that
clearly shaping you up, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. If you ain't got someone that's there that's got your back 1,000,000%, that's just there for when the shit hits the fan, when things are good, when things are bad, to give you good advice, to tell you, like, listen, over that hedge is a bunch of hedgehogs. So if I was you, I'd walk round the gate. Do you know what I mean? But if you want to jump over, don't worry. I got cushions. I got tweezers. We'll take sponge there. We've got a sponge there. We'll take the things that are antiseptic. But I'm letting you know the hedgehogs are over there. Cool. Then that's it. Then you jump. You jump. I'll give you the option, because I don't think we was given the option. So don't jump there. There's hedgehogs. Don't jump there. There's hedgehogs. Yeah. And then we jump. I told you get beat again, or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even think they told us those hedgehogs. They just don't jump it.
Don't jump it. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just think it's necessary, especially in life. As far as I'm concerned, fuck everything else. As far as I'm concerned, you don't raise children. Do you know what I mean? You just help nurture them. You help them grow.
Yeah, guide them.
Yeah, you guide them. You raise animals. Yeah, people raise animals. You can't raise children. Let them grow. That's why any child can be who they want, whether they're going to be. You give them right from wrong. I don't condone bullshit or nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Other than that, I'm there in it. Like, I don't look down at you, because I done so much things when I was a kid. I remember, like, show my age. I remember, like, my peers and that. Everyone had kids at different times, but the old fucking VCR, right? The kids always find a way to put something in the VCR. If you don't know what VCR is, guys, it's a video player. And we used to load videotapes in there, but you could actually put your cassettes. You could put your whole hand inside. But any toddler born in that age, I don't know what age, would have stuffed stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then there's the drawing on the wall. Like, I got a couple of kids with a couple of different women. God bless all my children. God bless all my baby mums. Yeah, God bless you all. Right, but then the drawing on the wall. You come and you have a nice white wall like this. 10 minutes later, the kids are like, and the kids, you know, the beautiful thing is, the kid don't realise what he's done. 9 times out of 10, the kid don't realise what he's done. 9 times out of 10, sometimes they do. But it's like,
they're not winding you up. It's just innocence, isn't it?
Innocent.
It's that innocence.
Yeah, and it's about not getting mad with them. Even the whole, like I got little ones, but even the whole, like, when they go quiet.
Yeah.
And you go shit, and you realise you kind of they've emptied the whole entire baby oil or powder. And they look at you like that.
Or the cream.
Hello.
everywhere.
You can't get angry.
Some of it, everything.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage.
It's great we having that kind of testament, because that is actually what a father, that experience there is what fathers should have. Do you know what I'm saying? For every child coming up, dad need to have that interaction. That, like, mothers will laugh about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have their own clubs of knowing the common things. We should also have that kind of sentiment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sharing the good things, how we raise our children. You know what I'm saying? The funny, you don't have to get angry about it. It's part of growing up. It's part of accepting. Do you know?
There is that there all the time, but this is the problem where when you have a relationship that doesn't last for a period of time, and then just because when there's a child in the middle, just because the two people have got their whatever own individual things or whatever, they play-gate that. They no longer allow the child to have that beautiness of growing. It doesn't matter how much I hate you or you hate me. If we're done, we're done. The child's perpetual, but if we're done, we're done. The only thing that will keep going on is us having to interact with each other, and we can choose how that is.
But what is crazy though, yeah, how can two people who spend a beautiful time, I'm only coming on the circumstances where two people meet, mate, and have a child, and they hate each other all of a sudden, you know? For me, both people have to look, we all have to look into ourselves, you know what I'm saying? It's almost simply hating yourself, because you've got a child there, out of a moment or whatever has happened, and now we can't work together to create this life to be a better life in terms of how does it happen?
It happens. It's because everyone's too blood clot fast.
Selfish.
No, fast.
Right.
Fast. Because no one really sits down and says, "Oh, what do you want? I want this, and this." You say, "Okay, what do you want?" You say, "I want this, and this." Okay, is that you want that? Yeah, I want that. You want that? Yeah, I want that. I want that. You want that? All right, cool. All right, cool. Should we have sex? All right, we'll have sex. All right, sure. Oh, we had a baby. So all right, well, we both want the same things. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? Because what happens is you do all that, and everyone's just like it's like this. No, they're talking like that. I want this, and this. But it's in your head. You're right in your head, and the other person right in their head, I want this, and this. You're not communicating it. But I'll pretend like I want this just to get with you, and I'll pretend like I want that just to get with you, but later when I tell you what, then the kid comes along, it's like, you realise I don't want that, and I don't want that, I don't want that. It's like, what are you doing that for? And the argument starts.
Unwanted stuff now, because people don't realise the requirements change. It's an addition now in the family. It's an addition. It's supposed to be a bonus from I want to what I've got and how I need it to merge as a team. It's supposed to be that bonus to say, oh, we wanted all of this, look what we've got, a baby. Do you know what I'm saying? Now let's, you get what I'm saying? Now we need this. It's like a bond. You know, you need to look at life how we are heading up. You know, if you're going to go forward, that bond there can't just decide to hate each other and deprive the child. Just question yourself.
I also think that...
Question yourself.
No, people need to check themselves.
As a woman.
People need to check themselves with their passion. Because, like, wear a hat, take contraception, chop, get the snip, get your shoes tied. No, but if you're going to have sex, you can have a baby if you don't watch out.
Absolutely.
Yes or no? Because
prevention is better than cure. You don't want no baby.
Prevention is better than cure.
But if you're gonna have a child, if you're not gonna take, if we're not gonna take the prevention and have a child, then we need to match up with what the requirements of having a child is, being a father and a mother, both responsible, by many means necessary. That's how.
What if you haven't got any examples of that?
An example.
What if you haven't got any examples of that? Because a lot of youngers haven't got the examples of that. They just going out and having sex. They haven't got somebody like the generation before us. Voice, you can help me out with this one as well. The generation before us. I mean, like, I know how old I am. I know how old my kids are. I'm sure there was a generation just before that was just having kids really young. I don't know if they're still doing it now, but there was a generation. England was some of the youngest, the highest teenage pregnancies. So if you got a kid having a kid, how much can a kid teach a kid before do you know what I'm saying? So then you've got another vicious circle. Because if I don't know, like, okay, how this happens, and it's okay, I'm asking you, but you're the same age as me, but you don't know. But I'm gonna ask Siri, and Siri's asking him, and he'll just say, oh, whatever. And it comes,
and we just reverse.
Do you know?
At the same time, when you actually check history, grandparents, like, people had kids, and their parents would look after the kids. Like the pecking order was supposed to be like, alright, cool, you have your kids, yeah, as you work for your kids. Let's just talk from a man's perspective for now. You have your kids, you provide, you look after your kids, yeah, they have their kids, yeah, and then whilst they're providing, you also help them to look after their kids, and this is what makes people's like wealth,
your
wealth,
extended family structure.
When your structure goes up, your wealth goes up. So now when you're there now for your kids, now they're there for their kids and XYZ
growth in them.
And also now the kids will also be there for the grandparents. Do you know what I'm saying? So it goes round. So now when you're a grandparent now, your kids and your grandkids are there for you, because the cycle, you actually get to live out that cycle from like almost like your baby again.
But they fucked it. They fucked it. Like they just separated everybody.
No, but there's no one way of having a family, and there's no one way of living. With what happened is everything just became more broader. The options became broader. So what options you take is up to you. What reality you take is up to you.
But they think it's worse now.
No, I think that everything has gone. It's had its ups and its downs in terms of generally. But if we say something like 2020, with the pandemic, I feel like the pandemic brought a lot of people and their families back together. And even if they didn't bring you immediately back to your family, it brought the family mentality back. So it brought you wanting to be around family, understanding why family is important, why the basics of just what you need in your life.
Before the pandemic, if you check some of my videos that I did on YouTube,
I never watch your I don't watch your YouTube. I try not to watch your YouTube.
On my travel
no,
platform.
I'm joking.
You know about my travel platform. It's been going on for over 6 years now. But it's the same thing we was advocating before the pandemic. 6 years ago, we was talking about time freedom. We're not bashing the 9 to 5, but we're promoting more like working from home, be self-sufficient, be able to...
But until people got forced to do it, this is the thing. Everybody got forced to sit down. There's a difference. With having... When you're in the world of choice, like we're back in the world of quote-unquote choice to a certain degree, But when you're in the world of choice, it's sad to say that sometimes you choose your routine. It's so easy to choose your routine over anything else.
And nothing else can sort of like interfere with that.
Exactly. So,
but when we got forced to do it, is actually a highlight in terms of where people have to think out of the box again. Because before, people were thinking, "What's working from home? What is that?"
No, that's right. That's right.
But we were forced to it, and it's almost common now that everybody knows you can work from home.
That's right, because it was always a thing. But like I say, it's just more of a thing where there's no right way to live life. No. It's just choices.
See, the good news is that
the old way was the right way.
No, but there was no old way, because what years are you talking about? Between what year and what year? Because things have changed over time consistently.
I'm talking about when you used to go, you used to finish dinner. Everyone used to come down, have the dinner's ready, breakfast ready, everyone eats together. When it's finished, okay, Johnny, we're going for a walk after dinner. Right. Okay, Sandra, let's go for a walk.
I think he's talking about the home telephone days, when we don't have mobiles.
Yeah.
That's the days he's talking about. But I don't think we can get back to those days.
But I just think those good days.
But my thing is, those days were a certain age. So when you was like 0 to 10 and you couldn't really go out yourself, those kids are still going through that now. Like, dinner time. But when you get to a certain age, it's like, go and make your own food. What do you mean you know about dinner time?
Chores.
Yeah, there's food in the fridge.
You can do your own. But with social media now, it's so easy for them.
But it's not changed much, because we've always there's always some sort of media.
It's changed.
We're either just focusing on different media. So now it went from the TV media to social media.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was always media that was corrupting us. It was always some sort of media corrupting us. There was no media that was giving us the right direction.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? If anything, social media gives you a bit more insight to some realer stuff.
Input.
Yeah, than what we had media before.
Social media is the devil.
Media can be the devil.
I just said it.
Just not social media. Media.
The word social is still encompassing us sitting here like this right now and having a vibrant conversation. Media now is a different thing. So it's just like I said earlier to my brethren, money. They use the same terminology. Money can't be evil. Media can't be evil.
Exactly.
It's how we use
it. Exactly.
So if you're hell bent in getting positive message out there, you own shares of the BBC, the ITV and all these stuff, and send an email immediate broadcast for the next 6 months. All I want to do is happy themes, all our messages, all our news, everything is happy. You've done well. But we now doing this in a sort of grassroots form for our audience to say, listen, we still can do things. Do you know what I'm saying? We still can change social media to be more positive rather than it being what you're saying. Because most people will go with that it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think the way people use it can be,
bad.
Yeah, or good.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
The guns are there, but it also comes with a manual. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's ways you can. It's not to pick it up and just kill anybody.
No.
It gives you all the breakdowns to say why not to do this unless you need to. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%, 100%.
You can't take the law out of your hand.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? And no one can do that. Do you know what I'm saying? But everything is there for our moderation. Like my man said, guns are there, but don't mean you have to shoot and kill. Do you know what I'm saying? They could just be there, and there's a manual to even how to use it. Money, media, the narrative in the media, we know.
Yeah.
Collectively.
I want to ask you a question. Have you got any advice for anybody out there, young, middle-aged like I am, or old like yourself,
old man,
about life? And just any advice from them, any advice you give to someone with your extensive knowledge, any advice you give to them out there, back home?
Yes. So the frank advice is always be faithful, maintain your focus. Do you know what I'm saying? You want to do things to not just change the world, but change yourself first. Always put that mirror in yourself to make a little better of your life. Do you know what I'm saying? We've all gone through hardship, but the hardship in life makes things simple for me. Do you know what I'm saying? If you don't have things to work out, problems to work out, you won't have solutions. And for me, my life has been problems, and I just keep finding a little bit of solution as we grow, and my advice to you would be just stay focused, whatever you're doing, make it positive and continue, be consistent.
I like that. Give me some. My G. I like that. I've got nothing to add to that. We've got closing questions.
No, man. Very good.
Have you got anything you want to say before we wrap up today? Anything you want us to get? I didn't just talk to you about security and all this stuff.
Travel, that's the next.
And travel, yeah. He's got his own travel company, innit?
Lots of content,
and security company as well.
Protection. I do sort of. I've been working behind the scene, undercover security.
You see.
Saturday Night Live and Deck and
whoa, you see
in the audience at the BBC doing This Morning and that. But I've got content. Let's see how it goes. But it's more aware, more empowering stuff. Empowering myself and yourself together, and obviously we can find a way to monetize things and help more people. Because the more money we have, we've got bigger production in it.
Definitely.
And there's more people. Like I said, you say so. I'll find the time and just come and have a chat with you, bro. We've done
the brains over there, the voice and the brains behind the camera. See, and the wizards there, it's all this necessary.
It's the message, you know what I'm saying? The director, what he puts around, how he knows you, how we can link, and what you deliver for us to know there's more to come, bro. Trust me.
No, definitely.
I've got a network of people. We know, it's lots to come. We've got people that we need to reach out to. They're waiting for us.
Definitely.
The audience is fresh, it's fertile, it's niche.
It's serious. That word you're using, fertile. I'm scared of that word.
The words, because we didn't even touch. I don't know if it's still running.
Yeah, we're still running.
Yeah, well,
we're still filming.
That yet. You get what I'm saying?
We're still filming. We're wrapping up. So everything you said is on camera.
That's good.
Yeah, we're still on camera. So that was not touchable. That was marvelous, full of energy.
Amazing.
Mohammed, thank you so much for coming along, man.
My God.
Life Talks with Ayo Fawole. Bro, you gonna keep my hand back? Keep my hand back, man.
Come on.
The voice by the camera, the wizard. Yeah.
The vision and the wizard.
Love yourself. Love life. Life Talks.
Thank you guys.
Amazing.
Yes, nice one, Mr. Life Talks.